We are back again. This is the Unity Podcast, episode 13. We're doing a video podcast this time, just because. Episode 12 was our last video podcast. Anyway, I'm joined by Ashley Nashay, who's over in Tennessee with her husband Adam.
Hello.
And my name is Sam over in Maui. Ashley's in Maui too. So, real quick, just as we always do, how are things going on your guys' end? Anyone who wants to start can.
I will start. So we're in Knoxville, Tennessee, and things here are still pretty calm, to be honest. We went to Walmart today and Target. And versus a couple weeks ago, there was actually a lot more people in Target versus 2 weeks ago when it was like maybe 5 or 6 other people. Right now, there's stats. I will tell you. So right now in Tennessee, number of cases, we're at 6,079. Number of deaths, 135. So that's about a 2% death rate, which is still really low. Honestly, people here, I feel like they're getting more serious with their masks, which is kind of nice. People are starting to post signs I've noticed that says asking people to not wear gloves because it has become a problem. People are reusing gloves and they're not disposing it properly, and they're just using gloves for everything, and it's actually worse than people if they would just wash their hands.
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen those signs a couple places asking people to please not wear gloves in stores. And then as far as hospitals and stuff, all of ours still have a lot of precautions that they're taking, which is nice. Medical professionals, I think, are able to learn from the other countries and even the East Coast, because our peak hasn't hit here yet, I don't believe. We're about 2 to 3 weeks behind. So New York and New Jersey hit their peak. Obviously, that's what people are talking about. And then I have family in Colorado, and they are saying they're just now starting to hit their peak a little bit going into it. And I think we're about 2 to 3 weeks behind them.
Mm-hmm.
So we are expecting the numbers to increase, but not necessarily the deaths and not the panic. But honestly, here things have been pretty okay. Anything you've noticed?
No, but I don't know. Again, I don't know if that's just the attitude of the people around here as well. Some people might just not care or see it as a threat, see it more something to work around or annoying. But I don't think our cases are above national average though either. So.
No.
Right.
So, yeah, how are you guys doing on Maui?
Well, in the state, we have about, I think we were sitting at around 530 cases, somewhere around there now. Maui, as of yesterday, I haven't seen the official numbers today yet, but I know yesterday we had 88 cases throughout Maui County, which includes the two other islands, and but here we've had a pretty high turnaround rate for people who recover. So far, we've only had about 9 deaths across the state. And about 45 people have needed hospitalization. So we're good for now, but our governor, and who, by the way, our governor is a fucking idiot. I just got to say it. Our lieutenant governor, though, is really good. He's a doctor. He knows what he's talking about. So they've just said, like, don't let up, keep doing what you're doing, which I think should go without saying at this point. But unfortunately, we still have some people that want to go hang out with their friends and be stupid. But for the most part, we're doing okay.
I'm curious. So people that were there on vacation when stuff went down, have most of them back home? I mean, I'm sure you guys still have travelers, but...
Yeah. Unfortunately, we do have flights coming in still. I'm hoping that we're going to see that change soon. Although the amount of flights that have been coming in has dropped by 97% from the same time last year. So that's good. The rule is anyone who's coming here needs to be, it's a mandatory 14-day quarantine on top of,
Right.
The national stay at home for 30 days. But if they break that, the first offense is $5,000 fine. If they do it again, it's 1 year imprisonment. So
Okay.
we have some hotels that are complying with that. But there have been photos that people have been taking of tourists just in front of other hotels that are just chilling and laying out on the beach, which you're not supposed to be doing here.
Right.
So there is a lot of frustration, but I think slowly we're actually starting to see that change a bit. More people are getting the idea. So,
Yeah.
but Ashley, how is things over in Hana? Because for people who don't know, Hana, even though it's on the same island, it's really
It's
secluded.
like a different island.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how are things over there?
Things been going really good, actually. We do also have those people in Hana, residents, that still go down to the beach and party all night.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Wow.
But other than that, things have been running pretty smoothly here.
You guys still have the National Guard posted places?
Yep.
Yeah, I
Okay,
think
so
that
how does that work?
That's working out pretty good. Some people are getting frustrated with it, but it's mostly because we had tourists coming in, like in the middle of the night when all the locals go to sleep and coming into Hana. So the locals don't know that they're in here.
Okay.
And the cops have been like citing a lot of tourists in Hana too.
Okay. So are they posted like in neighborhoods or like in business districts, or I don't know how the island is set up at all.
So they're posted in PAIA, the National Guard, with the cops.
Okay.
So way before Hana.
Okay.
I did also want to touch on what Ashley mentioned, with the frustration around the National Guard. We have checkpoints now across the island, and I think they're actually rolling that out through the state. But the Maui Police Department and the National Guard are having these checkpoints every, I don't know how many miles, but basically you have to have a valid reason for driving. You have to have obviously your license on you, your registration, and if you are a essential worker, they're asking that the businesses that you're employed by issue these cards that let the police know that you are an essential worker. And so a lot of the comments I've been seeing are from, people are like, well, say goodbye to your freedoms. This is the establishment of a new world order, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, look, the reason why they're doing this is because some of you have not been following the instructions. So that's why they're doing that. It's really not that hard to grasp. So the other unfortunate thing, which I think is kind of being resolved now, is our hospital here, Maui Memorial Medical Center. The administration was not allowing their workers to use PPE unless they were working with COVID patients. But after a lot of backlash, including being contacted by one of our state representatives, they've since supposedly allowed the workers to start wearing their own PPE. And it's really dumb because that whole policy has caused a cluster of cases from that hospital. So now people are afraid to go into the hospital because there's already been infections there because they didn't, for whatever reason, allow their workers to wear it. So, but I think it's being resolved. Tulsi Gabbard, I think, is having another town hall conference from Washington, D.C. today. So I'm going to be checking that out later, and hopefully she'll give us an update on what's going on in the state here. But I think overall, aside from the handful of frustration that I've seen, I think people are like, there's hope, communities here are kind of like giving stuff to each other and helping each other out, which is awesome. I've been seeing that all across the country, as you know. We've mentioned that quite a few times. So the bottom line is people need to know that there is good stuff happening.
Definitely.
But aside from that, because we've been talking about this to death, just how are you guys spending these days? I know a lot of us have a lot of time now, so.
I mean, honestly, Adam's been working. He works from, lately he's been working from 1 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Oh, wow.
So he is mostly working, and then he also has, client work that he does on the side and stuff. But, and luckily he gets to work, he can work from home. Excuse me, I got a hiccup. other than that, I mean, we picked up a couple games today. So we have Yahtzee. We got a deck of cards that are washable. They're like a different kind of material, so you can wash the cards now.
Oh, that's
And they're
awesome.
like waterproof. So we're really excited for those. So we got a deck of cards, and then we got a new Harry Potter game. What was it called? Codename Harry Potter. So we're gonna bust those out and use those. That's exciting. I've been crafting a little bit. We got some new cat toys, so that's been very interesting.
Oh, awesome.
And today we did venture out to Target to get some stuff. And it just, I don't know, try to keep like some sense of normalcy within the madness, while still staying safe.
Right.
But that's really about it. We've been laying low, and I've had to leave the house a lot just for my medical appointments and stuff, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, they are very strict on the regulations. So, so I've been having to go to the oral surgeon a lot. And what they do is you pull up in the parking lot, you call them to let them know you're there. They come out, check my temperature, and then we go straight into a room versus me going inside into the waiting room.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, we're just hanging out, staying low. Yeah, I feel like here we're kind of starting to relax a little bit more about everything, which I don't know if that's good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to see people not so panicked and worried and just anxious in general. And now people are kind of accepting the regulations that we have and falling into different habits, which is good and bad.
Right.
But I don't know. I think people are understanding still, but ready to move on with their lives. So trying to find a happy balance. So, but yeah, we've just been hanging out. I will say for Easter. I know I told you guys I went to a really cool Easter service at a drive-in movie theater, and because we all had to stay in our cars, so it was a pretty cool setup. I thought that was very smart of them to do it that way. So yeah, what have you guys been doing?
Ash, you want to go? You're muted, by the way.
Let's see. What happened? I've been on weekends, I don't know, Monday through Friday. I teach my son and my nephew because their teachers provided schoolwork for them.
Okay.
So that keeps me busy for a while. Then I do stuff around the house, keep up with everything around our house, and exercise as much as I can.
I'm thinking about buying an elliptical, honestly.
That's actually not a bad idea. I want to get one of those.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We got a gym membership right before this happened. We didn't even get to go. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I have to do.
I was going to I had Planet Fitness Black Card, and
Yeah, same.
I was doing, I don't know how long I was, I think almost a year or so. But when this whole
I
thing
think so.
happened, yeah, because Ashley would would
'Cause
she got her
Because
own.
you joined
You got her
after
own.
me.
Yeah, I joined after you. But when this whole thing started, they were open for a little bit, but then they closed, and then ever since then they've put holds on people's membership payments, so that we don't have to
Right.
worry about paying for it.
But they do have online classes,
Yeah, they got live streams that
Fitness
people can
classes.
tune in.
live stream.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, they came up with that.
Oh, did they? I just found out. So I'll have to check those out. He
Yeah.
goes to his email, so that's funny.
Yeah.
Check those out.
Yeah, so they do that, and I mean there's no shortage of like online workout stuff now. A lot of places are doing it, but I've been doing my push-ups and squats. I have my weights here, and I've been walking. Anytime there's sun, which surprisingly there's sun out right now, but and then I've been gaming, just gaming and watching my shows, which I've been finding. I've been very relaxed. It's
What shows have you been watching?
So I just got. Erin's never seen Ghost Adventures, so I've been showing her Ghost Adventures. That's one of my favorite shows. And then Arrow, she hasn't watched Arrow either, so we're gonna pick that up. And Schitt's Creek. I've really gotten into Schitt's Creek on Netflix.
I've heard it's good.
That is amazing. It is amazing. It's hilarious, and David is it's cute. It's cute though. But yeah, I've just been chilling. I'm gonna start working on my book that I was writing that I stopped. So I'm looking forward to that. But I think amidst all this shit, I think that's probably one of the more beautiful things is that it's allowing people to kind of like take a minute and, you know, be with their families and do things that they've kind of been wanting to do but put it off for whatever reason. So I think, you know, we're going to be okay. That's what I feel. But that's what I've been doing. Aside from the podcast, of course. But
Sorry, apples eye
Here's a question. What is going to be the first place you guys want to go when things open up for fun and for food?
Yeah, we gonna go first?
I'm thinking about that. It's a good question.
For food, I would say the kitchen.
Ah, you fuck off. I was gonna say that too. Yeah, in Hawaii, the kitchen is like the probably one of the best places to go for food. I would say Jamba Juice. I miss my Jamba Juice.
Ooh, Jamba Juice does sound good.
That does sound good.
Yeah. I mean, I've been getting my smoothie stuff. I've been doing that too.
There's a place here called Smoothie King, and they have like a drive-through thing.
Man, what the fuck? We don't have any like Jamba Juice is not drive-through here. The only thing that's drive-through is fucking Starbucks.
Yep.
And not even up country either. Like up country, the only Starbucks we got is over in Pukulani, and then you have to walk in there, and they're not open now. At least I don't think so.
There's a couple of crazy, like, funny things. So when I lived in Wyoming, all of our liquor stores had a drive-through, and people, like, didn't know how to comprehend that.
Whoa.
Yeah, so all of our liquor stores have drive-throughs, and there are some of those here. And then
Oh man, that's rough.
we have drive-through
That's
Subway,
awesome.
which is also blowing my mind. I've seen a couple of drive-through Chipotle's. And then what else? There's something weird. I don't remember what it was now. Oh, so we have this amazing, like, local taco place around the corner from our house, and they have, like, a window set up, and they're, like, really strict. They have 6 feet apart, like, and she slides you your food and stuff. But and this place is called Sono, South Knoxville Tacos, and they are always busy when they were, like, before all this, they were busy from open until 2 a.m. when they closed, like, just always busy. And they still are super busy now. And they are doing, with their to-go orders, they have pre-made margaritas to go with alcohol in them.
Oh, wow.
And it says everything, like, do not, can you, okay. That's, ouch. Someone's had too much catnip, sorry. But yeah, they're serving margaritas to go. And, like, they just have, like, a tape over the top of the lid so you can't, like, just put a straw in and go. But I think that was kind of crazy. And they have signs there where it says, like, you can't consume on property or whatever. But I was like, all right, I guess we're going to get a margarita to go. Go on a little adventure.
No, I think I mean, I've always kind of wanted to go to Greenland.
What?
Yeah,
Greenland.
Greenland, yeah. But I don't know how anyone is gonna how anyone's gonna travel after we get through this. 'Cause I think a lot of people are gonna be apprehensive. So
I was thinking about it too, and I read an article about it. We go thrifting a lot. Like, Adam loves going to thrift stores and stuff. And I was thinking, and also in the article, it's like you shouldn't, and thrift stores are going to have a really strict decontamination process from people donating, so it doesn't start up a whole new flood of infecting people.
yeah.
I am curious how things are going to go once some of the restrictions are lifted. Like, how that's all going to work,
Well, as my dad said, nothing is going to be the same, and
That's for sure.
that's probably, I mean, that's true, but it's probably a good thing that things aren't going to be the same, because
Right.
Look at Vegas. They reopened.
Did they?
Yeah. I have a cousin that lives in Vegas, and they, like, reopened Vegas.
Oh.
Everything.
oh, Jesus.
Wow.
Well,
But there's, like, nobody. Still.
well,
But
yeah,
people that live there.
yeah. A lot of people are weary right now. They're,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so there's gonna be like a whole change in just every single area of industry. Um, and I think global economies are going to have to change with that. I mean, in a way, we're already kind of starting to see that. I just saw
Right.
yesterday. There was an article from I think Reuters was the outlet that reported on it, but supposedly there's CEOs of some fairly large companies in Europe that are already pushing to convert entirely to green practices, and that's a major step. I think that's a sign that even these big companies that were traditionally in manufacturing in the traditional sense are now seeing where we're at and having to adapt. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's probably going to take a while, but yeah, we're going to bounce back, and people are going to travel again.
It's going to be a positive bounce back.
Yeah.
But I just, it's going to be a little difficult to avoid, that aftershock of, people that are carrying the virus and don't know and reinfecting. So
Yeah.
that's going to be a little difficult, but not too bad.
No.
No.
There is some pretty messed up things going on in Michigan right now, though.
Why?
There's a huge protest where the people are like they armed themselves and they stormed the governor's office, and they're demanding that she lifts the stay-at-home orders. They're crowding the streets, and
Yeah.
I was like looking at that. I'm like, oh, look at all these future case numbers.
Right. Exactly.
That's exactly what they're doing.
Like sorry, it was either North Dakota or South Dakota. I think it was South Dakota. They haven't done any restrictions.
Oh man.
Their governor has let everything stay open except for, I think, restaurants.
Wow. Well, I'm hoping that they understand the risks involved with that.
Yeah, they have to. They just have to look around them at what's actually happening,
Well, I looked up a per capita map, which shows like cases per person, so it accounts for population. And I don't know what they're doing in Louisiana, but Louisiana is like completely red. Louisiana is like worse than New York and stuff. So I don't know if Louisiana is not taking any protective measures.
Yikes. I mean, I kind of want to say that maybe some of that had to do with the Mardi Gras. I don't know. I'm just guessing because I know that was fairly recently.
Judge thought is just now look it up.
Yeah.
I mean, northeastern ones seem bad.
New York, New Jersey, like it's just crammed up there.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
In New York, even though the deaths, they're saying the deaths are continuing to rise. They are saying that the rate of hospitalizations is actually going down. And I think for I think this is the second day or the third day in a row, it's been on that downward trend. But again, as we know now, the reason why we're still seeing these death numbers is because of that lag effect, because the time that the virus takes to incubate and then affect someone. But all in all, according to Dr. Birx, she said that she's been looking at all the data coming in across the country, and they are starting to see a somewhat of a not just a plateauing, but also a gradual decline now too. So we just got to keep it up. But those morons down in Michigan, yikes.
Yeah.
Anywho, I think that. See, what time is it now? It's like 4:35. I think that ideally I want to try and keep this format like under an hour.
Okay.
Let me see where we're at right now. Actually, I can't. Do you know what time we started this?
4:35 right now.
Yeah.
And let's see how long the call has been for.
No, like how long we I'm not sure.
Um,
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's been probably close to an hour now, maybe a little bit over.
Yeah.
Well, I know Eliza said that she likes doing this in this way, so
Yeah.
I'll have to figure out a way to incorporate like James and Aaron on Facebook. They might want to join us too. I know James will.
I think if we could like almost schedule a time too, because I feel bad that we waited and now Eliza's sleeping. I feel really bad.
Yeah, well, she had a long day, and it's hard when you she lives by herself, in an apartment in Manhattan. So
Thank you.
anyway,
Well, I'm glad we're getting better though. I think we're headed the right direction for sure. We're gonna have some hiccups along the way, but I think we're slowly starting to get better.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just saw actually just now an article. Our freaking governor wants to pay a pay cut, 20% pay cut for pretty much for everyone else, for most state workers, which is total BS. The guy's a piss poor excuse of a Democrat.
So he wants to like cut their pay, you mean?
Yeah, he wants to cut state workers' pay by 20%. Yeah, I don't understand the logic behind that, especially now. But
well, I think we're gonna hop off of here, but
yeah, maybe hopefully Eliza did say that she was gonna want to join in tomorrow, so tomorrow for sure. If we
Good.
get her back,
Alrighty.
and hopefully I'll start off earlier than 4 o'clock.
I'll check
But-
statistics going for you guys too, see what they can come up with.
Yep.
That way, see what.
Yep.
Well, they're hiding from us.
Her
Well,
silhouette.
what is
Yeah,
going
you
on?
are.
What is going
I'll
on
tell
here? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know
There
how
you
to.
are.
I don't know why this thing is not working the way it's supposed to. Okay, there we go.
You're your cat.
Damn it. It worked for a second.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I love
Alright.
you guys. Stay safe.
Yep, you
Okay.
too.
You too.
Alrighty.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Have a good night.
Bye.